Nigeria is not really the focus of contention of my topic today, but now that you've mentioned it, I'll go into it. See, the problem of Nigeria is Nigerians. We Nigerians, we have the problems and we should be the solution. And we have to find the right solutions to the problem. The different problems plaguing the nation goes beyond particular names or sections. It cuts across everything and everyone. Unless we all reset our thinking, reasoning, values, and set behavioral patterns, our habits and nature, the road to recovery is very far. I mean, that's the way I see it. People will blame the chronic politicians. Yes, maybe yes. But it goes beyond the political figures. The evils have eaten deep into the fabrics of several Nigerians. Several people will do the same things, being frowned at and condemned if ever given the opportunity, or they find themselves in similar positions. Until they are tested and tempted, it's difficult to say emphatically what anyone can do. Now, the desperation to contest is bringing the true nature of what they are and what the future portends for Nigeria. Again, some of those who are better referred to as the conglomerates of failed leaders of Nigeria have declared for presidency and different offices again. It's unprecedented. No other nation in the world has witnessed such spirit of all-comers race to pick presidential funds at such cost. Even those who shouldn't dare show their faces in the open politically in civilized communities. And those who are not worthy to be councillors are just need to become president. In other civilized nations, many of the Casanova politicians and emerging ones won't even venture into public office. Many have their cronies claiming to have paid 100 million naira to buy funds on their behalf. Many have their stooges clandestinely and purportedly begging them to contest. Some have actually withdrawn after paying a whopping sum of 100 million naira. So easy and convenient, despite millions of people suffering and living daily below recognized minimum standard. I mean, the play acting and falsehoods have commenced even before the race. Poor Nigeria. Too many comedians and actors are fooling the people. Robbers are calling thieves names in Nigeria. Fraudulent fraudsters are competing against corrupt associates. World leaders will be laughing at the show of shame and ignorance, especially the lack of identity, lack of legacy, lack of integrity are displayed, and lack of direction. Smaller nations of Africa are becoming better positioned and governed. International leaders recognize them ahead of the nation. The citizens of other nations are better treated at embassies. Only when the superpowers want to use us and feed on our resources do the nation become relevant in the scheme of things. Even at that, despite being the most populous nation in Africa, we don't have the representation we deserve in international affairs and politics. Nigeria is a nation of about 200 million people. United Nations is a population of 67 million people. Yet, the gulf in relevance and power between the two are unbelievably wide. That's due to our leaders and all of us allowing the evil to continue unabated because we follow them dogmatically. We have made it look like you don't have to be sensible. You don't need to be knowledgeable or reasonable or even wise to aspire to lead Nigeria. Just anyone. The standard is too low, so low, such that every Dick, Tom, and Harry aspired for exalted positions and have been mentioned even without manifestos and sense of purpose. Even those that can't lead well in their homes. What's wrong with us as a nation and as a people? Desperations, position, money, greed, ethnic bigotry, and profiling are common factors that forces the true colors of an average Nigerian aspiring for elective position. Everyone is a saint in Nigeria until tested and tempted. Honestly, the magnitude of non-compliance to process and protocols nonchalantly by the leaders and us followers are pointers to the decay in the system and in the country. The bad news is that the cankerworm buffeting the nation has eaten deep into the fabrics, the pillars, and the whole essence of our existence. Worst of it is that it cuts across board. And the worst is that it's spreading its tentacles fast across boundaries, strata, races, professionals, and different ages. Unfortunately, corruption, falsehood, bribery, cheating, failures, and poor leaderships are all fast becoming our national identities. That is not who God created us to be. There are lots of Nigerians who have exceeded expectations and are doing brilliantly worldwide, even within Nigeria and among Nigerians. Every bad leader has a family. All fraudulent leaders have parents. All those perpetuating high-degree wickedness are products of different homes and families. Let our charities begin from home. Parents should teach their children about accountability, transparency, honesty, mutual respect, selfless leadership, discipline, working hard, togetherness, about unity, and so many things that leads to goodness, gladness, godliness, and greatness. We all should teach upcoming generations about good values and integrity, and we must lead by example. We've had great leaders in the past and some few others in the recent years, but their contributions have been silenced and dwarfed by the multitude of bad eggs in politics in Nigeria. We are on the march again, looking for the right leaders. You and I, all hands must be on deck. Let's contribute to the system and turn the country from the systematic failure. Some people took Israel from slavery to the promised land. It took some people to make United States of America the great nation that she is after independence. It took great personalities with great determination and commitments in the past to make United Kingdom great and united. There was a time Nigeria's naira was far more valuable than the American dollar, when it was almost at par with the British pound sterling. Check the rate now. Nigeria can also be great again. Let's join hands together to make Nigeria better. Political apathy is not the solution. We need the best of Nigeria to contest and occupy the positions of leadership. We need great men and women of honor in the national and state assemblies that will not condone bad president or be bribed, not the sleeping partners, the collaborators, the business partners and associates in fraud and crimes, not fellow looters of our collective treasury as we operate presently. The few good heirs will always lose their voices. No president or governor can take us for a ride. With competent national and state assemblies, we need incorruptible opposition parties, not the onlookers, corrupt collaborators, political gladiators, praise singers, or money-seeking oppositions of the present and past. We need great and fearless judiciary that is not corrupt and cannot be corrupted. We need real honorable men and women as ministers, commissioners, and councillors, not dishonorable Casanovas who are calling themselves honorable, who are the cronies and concubines of the same bad leaders. Only when the righteous is on the throne will the people rejoice. Righteousness exalts a nation. Unrighteousness is a reproach to any people. Unfortunately, Nigeria does not have the luck of righteous leaders and is also bedeviled with unrighteousness in high and low places. It's time for the enlightened students, the well-informed retirees, the highly knowledgeable civil servants, the learned professionals, and the holy believers who cannot be bribed with peanuts and who will not sell their souls to be involved in politics, to join the right political party, to aspire for elective offices and positions, to vote and stand to monitor their votes. Because at the end of the day, it's those that are available that will be voted for. It's those who are in political parties that will vote for those who we all will vote for. And it's only those who get the higher votes that gets elected. We have the right to go to court to challenge obnoxious and questionable leadership and attitude. We have the right to ask questions and to get answers. There is little that foreign governments can do. Some of them are benefiting from the state of confusion. They are ripping us off because of the lack of discretion, the incompetence and ignorance of our leaders. Let's free ourselves from the shackles of deception, poor leadership and maladministration. Enough is enough. As a people, we must be up to our responsibilities. Only then can the nation be great. Arise, O compatriots. We have rights to recall bad representatives from local government up to the National Assembly, from the state to the federal, but we've not been doing that. The best of Nigeria have the right to form and be part of political parties. There is no way out if we all continue to leave politics in the hand of few undesirable political elements. Choosing to be indifferent will not help us. There is no point mourning and saying politics is dirty when we allow the dirtiest of human beings to take the lead roles. It's an adage that in the land of the blind, there is no crime if the one-eyed man takes the lead. But when someone with clear vision is willing and able to take the lead, others will be happy to enjoy good direction from his vision. We need visionary and responsible leaders with foresight to lead us out of the current state of hopelessness. It's evil to let morons and non-entities who cannot stand up in international politics continue to lead our destiny and deny us our rightful positions in the Committee of Nations, despite the abundance of talents, physical, spiritual, material, and human resources at our disposal. God is not to blame because He has given us everything that pertains to greatness and success in Nigeria. It won't matter if you are old or young. We need responsible technocrats, well brought up and sensible leaders, disciplined, excellent, responsible, responsive, reliable, and noble individuals with foresight, integrity, political professionalism, with conscience and the willingness to walk with national consciousness and selflessness. Enough is enough with politics of hypocrisy, politics of deceit, politics of ignorance, in self-aggrandizement, politics of tribalism. The demonic politics of moronic cabals has to stop. Regardless of whether the next leaders are the old politicians or the new breed politicians or the non-political class, won't really matter unless they are not the same of the same. Only God has been helping us so far. We all must stand and be counted in the move to end this menace and malady. The electionary dramas are unfolding again in chapters and series. Certainly, the end is not near yet. Nigeria is being driven from posterity to austerity, from greatness to nothingness, from abundance to lack, from independence to slavery, from being champions to servitude, from safety to extinction, from peace to bloodshed, from justice to anarchy, from governance to anarchy, from sons of victory to fear of injustice, death, and uncertainties, from righteousness to cruelty, and from lawful cohabitation to lawlessness, from jubilation to despair. If we don't want the nation to be grinded and grounded totally, we all must yield the clarion call to save the nation now. Time to act is now. All the political brouhaha and hula baloo should no longer be encouraged. All the manipulative tendencies of the infamous political class and deception should be stopped. And election fraud and selling of votes for peanuts should be eradicated. We've made it look so bad that everyone thinks they can lead, even those who can't lead themselves. It's even worse now that even political parties are bereft of class, ideologies, set principles, and standards, such that there are no recognized leaders or distinct potential presidential personalities of distinctions. Political leaders of civilized nations who have done wonders have been from the class of dignitaries with the same ideologies, set principles, vision, ideas, common philosophy, and determination to move the nation and their people forward. But in Nigeria, looters associate with looters, coalition of strange bedfellows. In Nigeria, those leading us do not even understand the set principles and manifestos of the party whose flag they are bearing and carrying. No understanding of the concept of leadership. Most people in high places of governance do not have any iota of idea on what they campaign for. No wonder. It is easy for them to cross carpet several times. The same people with the same fraudulent and selfish mindsets, many of whom have no clue on governance, rotating around parties. We are merely recycling those who have failed over and over and are still failing us. Enough of fraudulent political Casanovas who keep looting the national treasury at will with impunity, with several fraudulent practices disguised by constitutional and unconstitutional means, with their politics of deception and unhealthy political jiggery-pokery. Let us discontinue with servicing negativity in Nigeria. Let's desist from idolizing failures and let's dissociate ourselves from political parasites that are making the nation dry. One other very profound problem in the system is lack of accountability. For long, we have operated a political jamboree that encourages fraud and corruption. There is no more war against indiscipline in high places. Rogues are celebrated. Leaders are not made to account for their ill-gotten wealth and years in government. That doesn't happen in most developed nations. There cannot be national recovery without accountability. We should stand against the system that allows the president uncontrolled access to money, the porous system that makes people in offices not accountable after their stewardness. When last was a living president queried for the endless looting or be made answerable for money siphoned and stolen? When last has the central bank officials been properly scrutinized and audited? When has any auditor general disclosed discrepancies? When last was any council chairman or governor exposed or made answerable for the looting of the treasury, which in office or by incumbents? Yet, there are council auditors and accountants, same for states and federal. Civil servants in all hierarchies who should be the eyes of the citizens and the country join hands with them. At we blame the system that allows to enrich themselves with monies meant for procurement. This cuts across board. Check the system that allow assembly members, ministers, and commissioners unguarded rooms and access to loot and divert public funds. It seems that the slogans in the country is, once you occupy a political position, you are above the laws. You can steal and clean up. No one should investigate. No one can investigate. You are not answerable or accountable except only for political vendetta by those in power when they arrest or intimidate with known dirty secrets. Yet, we have regulations and policies, birds of the same feather. We only run after petty thieves, putting those who stole 10,000 naira in jail, while political robbers who stole billions of naira meant for national projects and developments are treated like kings. What about opposition parties? What about the principle of checks and balances? Unfortunately, those who should be the watchdogs, those who should raise alarms and be the eyes of the country are birds of the same feather. Our assembly representatives only enjoy sharing of public funds with no serious care about governance and the masses. Until our leaders are made accountable one by one and political office holders are made to account for every penny and contracts, allocations, until budgetary declarations and allocations are well scrutinized and properly investigated, Nigeria will not and cannot experience positive changes. American leaders, British leaders are made answerable to any financial discovery, if any, and for financial discrepancies while in office and afterwards. They too may have their loopholes and rogues, but that will be exception to the status quo, never the order as in Nigeria. The system of checks and balances, the different departments, the citizens all act accordingly in checkmating frivolous spending, embezzlement, or unlawful use of public funds. We have made politics the most lucrative venture in Nigeria, which is why it attracts all the undesirable characters. It's now more lucrative, more than the advanced free fraud. We throw open keys to our treasury at will. There are no checks and auditing. No one is called to answer. Yet, we are all aware that things are not right. Those governing are never made to evaluate their political promises, done a campaign with political achievements, whilst in office and afterwards. Yet, a man who failed as a commissioner will be made governor. A man who failed as a minister wants to be president. A man who failed as governor goes to the National Assembly. Circular flow of failures and failed representatives. Yet, we don't want failure in governance. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect to have different results. What's the yardstick for measuring standard and performance in Nigeria? No wonder everyone is purchasing presidential form with millions of naira, even when the total real income within 4 years won't be up to that amount. When there is no system to determine the source, when there is nothing to account for how much they will make thereafter, when the parties knew it is open access for fellow politicians to financial gains. While it is correct to blame the bad leaders, however, it is essential to check the process that allow for bad governance, corrupt practices, and looting. And it is very imperative for us followers to take the bulk of the blames too. We've allowed ourselves to be played and dribbled for too long. Enough of follow without action and reaction. Certain things are very crucial for Nigeria's recovery. We need quality and selfless leaders. We must make accountability work in the country and non-negotiable, so that real people will not engage in politics and leadership merely for what they can gain or steal, but what they have to offer. And every one of us must be actively involved in different aspects of governance. There have been continuous agitations and clamor for us to examine our current corporate existence as a nation and the nature of governance, regional or federal system. These agitations should not be glossed over, but at the same time, both of these still requires quality representations and responsible collaborations of responsible citizens, because regardless of the system and irrespective of the structure, bad leaders will still lead us to nowhere good. Our charities should begin from home. Let us be responsible individuals and bring up responsible children as better future leaders. Those who will not sell their conscience and vote for peanuts. We ourselves must act now on the points highlighted, so that the labors of our heroes past and present does not go down in vain. God bless you all. Long live Nigeria.